In Frisco ISD, we have taken a philosophy of preparing our students for the future. And one of the first questions that always comes up is, how do you do that? How do you prepare students for a future when you don't know what that future is? What kind of characteristics does a future-ready learner have? What are those qualities that they need to be able to be successful when they leave us to do whatever it is they want to do in their life?
The profile of a future-ready learner involves 6 different skills or characteristics that a committee came up with over the last couple of years. Our goal with the profile of a future-ready learner is that by the time a Frisco ISD student graduates from Frisco ISD, they have mastered the ability to bring these skills to life.
Students are actually leaving school more prepared for life itself, and not just to be academically challenged and successful. They're leaving knowing how to communicate with others. They're leaving knowing how to be innovative, how to build projects based off of their passions and their interests, but also how to work with others in order to achieve their goals and to follow their dreams and to pursue what might not even be available yet.
So future-ready instruction is really where the magic happens, and this is no longer just filling our kids' heads with knowledge that we've been studying as the educator at the front of a classroom. So future-ready instruction really is that engaging, student-centered piece where we give our kids more of a voice and a choice within the learning environment to solve real-world scenarios and problems. And there's multiple outcomes to some of those problems that they're trying to solve. And so embracing that idea of future-ready instruction really is what's going to push us forward as an education system. Just like we expect, learning to happen in the classroom for our kids to develop future-ready learners, we want to develop our educators and our leaders in the same sense. And so we developed the profile of a future-ready educator and leader to support us in our hiring practices and so that we could also see the end goal for ourselves.
The plans that we put in place as educators in the classroom are going to impact those skills that our students acquire while they're in their classrooms learning with us. And as a leader, it's important because then we have a focus for professional development, for teacher learning, for staff learning. We can incorporate that into our daily planning, our lessons, the culture that we build into our campuses to help those students reach those goals by the time they leave us.
Not only must the teacher, the learner, and the leader possess the future-ready qualities, the environment in which future-ready learning is taking place needs to be conducive to that kind of learning. And what we're doing in Frisco ISD is creating classrooms and schools and learning environments that are conducive to future-ready learning, that allows this kind of learning to take place.
Future-ready can mean a lot of different things to different people. And so we've created the Future-Ready focus areas. And this gives us a direct pathway and a direct vision of where we want to go with future-ready learning by focusing on these 5 focus areas: whole child model, differentiated instruction and assessment, guaranteed and viable curriculum, learner-centered environment, and strategic collaborative leadership. And so when we say that we want our students to graduate with all of these skills, it's so that they can take on the world in the future that they create. When people really embrace the skills and attributes that we're looking for in future-ready leaders and learners, that's really that idea of growing people grows your schools, and when schools grow, then our kids really benefit from that.
What we're doing on campuses is really taking into account what do our teachers need to be successful in order to impact student achievement. And so when we're looking at that, it takes into account, how are we cultivating an environment where we're able to try new things. So it's not just being vulnerable and saying, I'd like to learn this, or what would this look like, but then it's actually doing it and trying it. But we're also looking at how can we personalize learning to fit the needs of our teachers. So when we're developing, new professional learning to go out, or we're noticing a need on campus, we're designing and cultivating an experience where they can actually participate in the learning according to their particular needs, just like we do for the students in the classrooms. And I think that's a huge way that learning has evolved on campus, is that we're not just doing doing this one size fits all. It really is personalized for each person's need.
Education's not a stagnant industry. The minute we become stagnant, we quit doing our jobs. We have constantly got to be evolving and learning and growing and getting better, meeting the demands of the kids and how the kids are growing up today. Because our sole purpose of school is being here for the kids and teaching and learning around the success of our kids and how we graduate them to be life ready.